email over to sales@gabradionetwork.com. That's sales@gabradionetwork.com.
If you run a large corporation, small business, or anything in between, you need ads to help get the word out. A full page in the newspaper sounds good. A TV spot sounds even better. But let's face it, newspapers are essentially last-minute wrapping paper, and a TV spot is just expensive and basically code for bathroom break. Talk radio is different. Commercials cost practically nothing to produce, and the listeners are loyal. They like what they like, and they stay tuned in. When they hear about a new product or service during their favorite show, they can't wait to try it out for themselves so they can talk about it with their friends. And you know how radio listeners like to talk. If you want to add radio to your marketing portfolio, you need the Gab Radio Network. Gab Radio is the team of full-service experts you've been looking for, from writing to production, distribution, voiceover, and more. We make sure your spots are paired with the right shows in the right markets at the right time of day so the right people can hear. Since we're in over 100 markets across 34 states, Canada, and American Samoa, I'd say it's a pretty good place to start. If you want to know more, just email sales@gabradionetwork.com. That's sales@gabradionetwork.com.
Welcome back. Now here's some more unconventional wisdom to set you free from the man on a mission to retire America, one person at a time, Del Walmsley.
Welcome back to Del Walmsley Radio Show, and I was talking today about how you could identify a person's future by how they prioritize their priorities in life. And I gave you 5 categories, and so I just thought it's only fair that I share out mine since I'm asking you to think about yours. And mine is based on effectiveness. Health and fitness, to me, is very important because you can't be effective at anything else. Next one is money. And not for the reason you think money. Yeah, you need money to be able to help people. You need to take care of your family. You might want to, tithe to your church. You're paying taxes to the government. Money makes the whole world go round. But I don't think that money is the second most important for that reason, because I believe the way you get money is by helping people. And if you help enough other people in this world get what they need and want, then you can have whatever you want financially. Money is a scorecard for your effectiveness to help people. So you go, well, I can be effective. I can go down to my church and I can feed people soup out of a soup bowl. Dude, that's not very effective. I don't know where anybody thinks that kind of volunteering does anything. You could hire a person for minimum wage to serve up that soup. You could be out there making millions and giving them the food and the money to support that entire operation. Now that's somebody doing something. But you standing there serving up the soup, yeah, you're doing something, but it's not much. And so when I see people that are out there helping somebody, you create a rent house, clean, functional place to live. You've helped one family. They can't afford to go buy that house themselves. They can't afford to fix it up themselves. They don't have the ability to get a loan. They don't have the ability to maintain it. You're doing all that for them. You're helping somebody. But when you go out there and buy a 1,000-unit apartment complex, you're helping 1,000 families. And that's why you're going to make a lot more money than owning one rent house, because you're helping a lot more people. You say, well, if that really works that way, why are athletes and musicians so rich? Because they help tens of thousands of people at a time. You go out and watch one football game, and you've got 30,000 people in the auditorium, another 1 million people watching it on TV, and they are getting the type of excitement in life that they can't buy themselves. There's no way. They were high school athletes, or they weren't, and they cheered on their high school team and then their college team. But they're sycophants, they're armchair quarterbacks. They're people out there that have nothing in life except the vicarious experience. And these athletes are giving them that vicarious experience. You see, when a team wins, like the Houston Astros won this year, people go crazy. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years ago, nobody even cared about the Astros. Nobody even knew who they were, even cared at all. But when they won, all of a sudden everybody's an Astros fan. Because vicariously you're important. We're important. You travel all over the country now, and you get out of the airport, or you stop at a bar, and you talk to somebody, yeah, we're from Houston. Oh, your Astros, tore it up. Yeah, our Astros. I have nothing to do with the Astros. I love the Rockets because I'm living vicariously. But really I love them because they're so much fun to watch. I enjoy watching other teams that are that great. I enjoy the fact that somebody figured out how to make that team win, right? But I enjoy it, and so I'm right there with everybody. I'm getting that vicarious high. I can't wait to the next game in this 15-game winning streak, right? Let's do it again. So being out there, helping other people be happy, making other people's lives better is how you produce money. And the more money you have, the more people you've helped. Even if bad people have money, they've done something that helps somebody. Now, some of them have done bad things. And then what you have to say is, well, in that case, what's going to end up with them? Right? In the long run, what's going to end up with them? They're cheating people and stealing from people. Ultimately, they're going to go down. Look at all this stuff right now that's going on about the Me Too system. I mean, all these people you never would have thought, all these liberals and religious people and important people are all getting called out. So all that stuff they did is coming around to get them. Now, in the long run, you get what you receive what you've given. The next one is family. Family is your castle. You think about the old days. For people to feel safe, they built walls around themselves, and they lived inside this castle, and this was a group of people they could live with. And if anything went wrong, they'd go inside their castle, and that was their protection. Your family is your protection. It's your love. It's your security. And if you pick the wrong family, the wrong wife, or you raise your kids incorrectly, your entire life will be miserable. The outside world could even be successful, but the inside life could crumble. It's two completely different lives. And so if you have a wonderful interior life, if the castle and the family are good, as they say, if the hen is happy, everybody else is happy too. Whatever belief you have about how you make a family happy, if the family is happy and supportive, then outside real world is just out there. You battle with them, you go outside the gates, and maybe you get slain every time. Maybe you get your butt kicked, but when you come home, you're the king of your own castle. That's an important thing. Now, the next one I don't take any affiliation with at all, and that is civic groups. I don't believe that the government has anything good in mind for us. I believe most of the people running almost every level of government is corrupt. Now, there are a few people that aren't. Take my word, I'm not saying every person, but I'm saying a very large percentage of the people who run the governments are corrupt. They want to inflict their values on us, control, manipulate, dominate us the way they want. Now, if you're a libertarian, then you're not that kind of person. You're saying what I want as a government person. I want to make everybody leave us alone. Power is not power. The quality of life is not the amount of power given to the government. It's the amount of power government gives back to the people. I've heard that on the radio many times, and I believe it. So the bottom line is, folks, we come back to God. That's either number one or not at all. That's the whole full circle. There's no answer to that. Remember this, though. There is three choices. Dependency, independency, or being out there helping other people be happy and living great lives. And that's interdependency. My goal for you is to become independent so someday you can become interdependent with the world. But until you're independent, you cannot be interdependent and give back. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Get enough? Visit DellOnTheRadio.com to listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show, access past show podcasts, and join the conversation.
.1470 AM and 95.3 FM, the Health and Wealth Radio Network. Listen for A Touch of Gray, the talk show for adults, with Carol Marks and Michael Harrison, Saturdays at 1.
This message is brought to you by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
When severe weather threatens Florida, flooding is a reality we all have to face.
And floods can happen anywhere in the state.
So be prepared when floods impact your community. Know what flood zone you live in so you can determine the risk to your family and your property.
The better you understand the risks of flooding in your community, the safer you can keep your family.
Go to floridadisaster.org and find out what flood zone you live in.
Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach. and 95.3 FM, W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
The Army National Guard is committed to keeping the country safe and our communities secure. Composed of hundreds of thousands of citizen soldiers from all walks of life, the Guard is always ready to respond to local or national emergencies. We protect the homeland. We're always there when called upon, and in every state and territory, we stand guard for our communities. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Attention Medicare recipients, important news that could save your life and the lives of your children and grandchildren. Now available at no cost to you, a $2,400 test that will tell you if you and your family are at risk of developing cancer. No needles, no blood, no pain, and no cost. Call Debbie at I Will Be Well for your free cancer test. 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Go to your app store and download the WNN app on your Android or iPhone. And never miss a Talk 1470 minute.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to Turk Radio, the only tag team husband and wife show on the air. Straight up conservative talk for the not so silent majority.
Guess we're on the air. We are.
And we're on. It's our second episode here at Turk Talk Radio. Welcome to Monday. Good to be back in Florida, here in our Boca backyard. And we actually today have a really interesting Boca local. And we may have somebody coming up in the second half an hour, a second 15 minutes that you know as well.
Yes.
In our second half.
She's dodging traffic, Frogger style, at the moment.
She is. She actually, this is why she can't leave Boca and she shouldn't go to Del Rey.
That's right.
Yeah. So she's on her way. We have Pam Polani coming up. And we're talking to Matt Spritz today, who's running for Florida House.
Hi, Karen.
Hi. How you doing?
How are you?
Good. Doing well, Matt.
Our own 89th district.
Yes. So I guess... Do you want to?
I figure I'll lead. I think I'll lead in a little bit. I know it's only my second show, so
okay.
You got to be patient with me.
All right.
But I absolutely have known you for a while. We are definitely backing you and endorsing you, and you've gotten some really amazing endorsements from a lot of people in our area. And we actually had breaking news right before we came on the show.
Yes.
You want to share?
No, I'd love to. Thank you. I'm proud to say that I just received the endorsement of the Sun Sentinel in my primary, and I'm really excited. As we're sitting here, I get a text from my brother who saw the endorsement, and I had not seen it, and I went a little insane, and it was great.
It was great.
And I started sending.
I wish we would have gotten on camera, but you would have had your phone off, and then we wouldn't have known until we ended the show.
Right. And then I started furiously texting, everybody I know. But no,
we've already shared that as well on Facebook.
Yeah. Awesome. No, it's wonderful, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to represent us in Tallahassee. I think. I'm born and raised in South Florida. My family's been here since 1950.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's my mom was raised here. Right. So, at this point, I mean, we've been here for 70 years. And so this is home. It's always been home. And, I'm so thrilled about the opportunity to serve.
And you've got 3 generations that are in public service, right?
Yes.
Is that the rumor?
Yes.
Look who we have. Oh, she's going to walk right into the studio.
Pam,
it's none other than Pam Polani.
Pam, you're blowing up my spot.
You brought presents?
Congratulations on the show. I brought a present. It's your first show.
Hey.
We're doing live TV, by the way.
We look like the American flag.
We do. Well, you have to lean
this
down
is
a
a
little
first
bit
for us.
Hey. Go ahead and have a seat. Sit on down.
Does that count as a squat?
That was kind of, now my tushy's on the camera. So we got to watch.
Hey, Pam.
Yeah.
Hi.
We were worried you weren't making it. Really?
Well, I went to Del Rey instead of Boca. I keep forgetting this.
By the way, you're
I love
live.
that it says Ms. Alto
So
on
right
it, too.
now,
She knows we're ready on the air.
we're
This
ready
is
on
normal
the air.
behavior for
Okay,
Pam.
just
This
wanted
is
to make
Really?
sure.
Does that make a difference?
Are you on the TV? Can we see you?
Yeah, Pam's on TV.
Yeah, no, she's good.
There
She
you go.
rolled right in.
Pam,
She's got
Freddie.
Pam comes
Freddie
in and
is
just
your
goes,
producer?
Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Absolutely.
Do you want your presents?
So, in case anyone doesn't know who Pam Polani is, do you want to take...
Everyone knows who Pam Polani is.
Okay, well, hold on for presents. Do you want
Yeah,
presents
hold on.
first?
We'll do presents in the second 15
We have to keep the
All right.
audience, so they're going to be anticipating.
Hi, I'm Pam Polani, and
I'm surrounded by lawyers tonight.
Yes.
Nobody had.
Aren't you
yeah.
blessed?
Yeah, I kind of feel really lucky
Right?
tonight. I got my friends and attorneys
And
all
we
in my
probably
corner
will
here.
provide bond money if it's necessary.
I was gonna say I could start telling lawyer jokes if it'll put everyone at ease.
We like that. We like that. We like
No,
lawyer
the
jokes.
reality is there's three of us because you have a hot mouth. So we don't know what you're going to say. So
Okay,
we need to
I'm
prepare.
feeling like Matt and I should leave the room now.
This is going to be an
Is this
interesting
going to
show
be like a
tonight.
Nicole
We'll be on the
Kidman,
second
Tom
episode.
Cruise type of
My
movie?
ears are a little on fire right now.
Matt's
but
a little too young for this conversation.
I'm 35. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, well maybe you're right on
Yeah.
the cusp. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be like a Nicole Kidman, Matt, like
Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise type of movie, right?
Yeah, possibly.
Far and away.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, not that
No,
one. The other one that they did.
What
Oh,
other
Eyes
movie
Wide
did-
Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut.
The
Eyes
Kubrick
Wide
movie.
Shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I was going to have a movie, I think out of those two movies, I'd prefer to have that movie.
Eyes Wide Shut.
No, but no one's watched that movie. There's like 5 people that watched that movie.
It was a little long.
Yeah.
It was a long movie.
Why didn't he die?
I'll be honest with you, I've never seen
I
it.
think Kubrick died before he was actually
Yeah.
done editing it, and so they kind of released the unfinished cut of it. So it was like
Yeah.
almost 3 hours long.
It was really
It was
long.
really
Oh,
tricky.
you're eyeing my collection. And I knew, I just want to say, I
love
knew
it.
that when she came in, that the first thing she was going to do was eye this clutch. So
I love it.
This
Love
is
it.
actually made by my
And-
friend Star Wren at Lucky Star with 2 R's, Couture.
And look how nice it looks with my outfit.
It does. It looks
It really
fantastic
does.
with your
I like
uniform.
your pin, Pam.
Absolutely. And
The
you have
American
your pin
flag
on
and
today.
I always
Israel
have my
flag.
pin on.
Absolutely.
Have you ever caught me without my American Israeli flag pin? I
No.
don't think so.
No, you're always wearing it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
And good for
segue
you.
talking
2 in the
about
morning.
Israel.
Sure.
You want
Yeah.
to talk about Israel?
Yeah, I would love to. So I and it's funny. I brought my I guess in the last couple of weeks we did a reprint on our palm cards, and one of the things that we had added in was the little piece on standing with Israel, and because it is so important. I've been a member of the pro-Israel community my entire life and a pro-Israel advocate.
All
for
35 years.
All 35 years. That's right.
No,
And-
an extra 9 months when he was in his.
That's right. That's
I
absolutely
know his
right.
mother, and that's probably true.
It's true. You do know.
See,
about
it's a small community, and it always surprises me that Buka, listen to me, that Boca is such a blue community, because as a Jewish person, I feel a real connection to Israel, and I want everything to be very pro-Israel, but with the economy to be able to support it.
It's
And that's a
interesting
big
because a
reason why
lot of
I'm a
Israelis are
Republican.
very, very pro-Trump, pro-Republican.
Yes.
Yeah, when
Trump
you
has
look at
been-
the
look-
more conservative and orthodox they
Yeah.
are, and that's
Trump-
why I'm friendly with a lot of people in that group.
President Trump has been the most pro-Israel president of my lifetime, and I'm not even sure who second place would be. It's been absolutely amazing, and we talk a lot about pro-Israel advocacy on the federal level and everything that President Trump's doing, but what you don't hear a lot about are the things that we do on the state level to support Israel. The state of Florida actually owns millions of dollars in Israel bonds, and you don't hear a lot about that. There are trade
And
missions.
we have an amazing comptroller who actually did it for many years and has been very supportive of that.
Yes.
And we're also one of the first states to actually support the anti-BDS movement.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
I think we
Exactly.
really
if people,
need to
if your
explain
listeners don't know what that is,
please.
that means that there are companies and universities who have decided that they are going to not support Israel by divesting completely from whatever products or speakers or personas that might be coming that they will not endorse. And this is a nationwide program that people have tried to make as a way of masking their anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli feelings. And the state of Florida has come out very strongly against that.
They have, and it is a really anti-Semitic movement. And I think a lot of people miss that. These things are kind of sold to them as these civic, social issues, and they're not. It's anti-Semitism.
I completely agree, and we talk a lot of Pam just talked about some of the legislation that's been run to deal with companies that support BDS and how they can no longer do business in Florida. But one of the things that I'd like to do when I get to the Florida House next session, there's a bill that actually just recently passed in South Carolina that defines anti-Semitism to include BDS, and so we can pass a similar law in Florida.
So Matt, don't say I like to do it. Say this is one of the things I'm going to do. That makes it a lot stronger for me.
Okay.
Is that because you know his mom?
Well,
How about this? How about this, Pam?
Listen, and I
It's
would
going to be the
assume that
first
she's
bill
gonna
I
be
file
voting
when
in
I
the
get to the
primary.
House.
Love it, and I will be hopefully up there in January to see it and support it.
But I just want to, before we forget, you have to register. Today is the deadline if
To
you're not
vote.
registered.
Yes, the
In the
primaries
primary.
are coming up. Please
Today,
register.
literally.
Today.
And you can do it online.
Yes, you can do it online.
You can go to myflorida.gov and you can register
Yes.
to vote.
Because
right
for
now,
all the
until
complaining
midnight.
that you might do, or all the things that you hear that you may not agree with any one of the four of us, great. Then make your voice heard and vote.
Absolutely.
Please.
The most important thing is to exercise the right to vote.
It's the only type of exercise I actually like. So
I agree with that.
Very true.
We're on the same page.
And notice vote is a 4-letter word that I can get behind. So yay.
And on the
I'm
radio.
thrilled.
Yes.
And on the radio.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, we were talking
Freddie
a little
right
bit-
now is wiping his brow going, oh gosh, Pam Polani.
We're going to have a George Carlin conversation next.
No,
No, not on this show.
Definitely not.
No, not tonight.
Karen and I like to keep our mouths clean.
Yeah, well, everybody who knows me off the air knows that that's not true. But when I'm on the air, absolutely. Because I've been reprimanded before. I did, I have almost screwed up. I came very close.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your first show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
So what made you decide to do this?
Just, following our passion. I mean, we're so passionate about politics, both of us, and just the local community here and being involved with the Republican dialogue. And
So is every week going to be a political diatribe? Or
always, yeah,
Wonderful.
absolutely.
That's
is
the
that
focus.
really the focus?
The primary focus is
100%.
what we think about in politics and why we feel that way, instead of just
using
having an
social
opinion.
media and whatnot.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Just reaching a different audience.
I noticed I
letting
agreed to
people
be
get
on the
to
show,
know
and I
us.
didn't even know what we were going to talk about. I just said, Karen said, "Do you want to do it?" And I said,
Yeah.
"Yes, of course."
Yeah.
Or like
'Cause it's
that other
Karen.
show. There's
Honestly,
really nothing
Well,
there.
thank you, Pam. I appreciate that.
I heard that you were going to be on, and I just said, all right, well, I got to go on with Pam.
Yeah, he wasn't campaigning or anything. He just wanted to come on because Pam Polani.
Pretty
was gonna
much.
be here.
Yeah, I brought this in,
I
right?
love that.
And we have a call-in line now, so I think we should take calls. If anyone wants to call in and ask Matt any questions about...
Pam.
Or Pam.
Or possibly
you can
Karen
call
Turk.
into 888-565-1470. Again, it's 888-565-1470.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like how it's spaced out. You're supposed to say 1470.
1470. I probably am supposed to say that.
Yeah.
Thanks for
okay.
the correction,
You know
husband.
what?
I appreciate
I
that.
was going to say, knowing Karen as many years as I do, she's never said what she was supposed to say. She says it in her own way, and it's perfect just that way.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Well,
very
we should have
nice.
shows like this every week. I have, my friends come in and compliment me. We hang out in Boca. We talk Boca issues.
Absolutely.
I like this. This is great.
Well, and this is definitely the time of year to be doing this because it's the summer, and it seems like everybody's overheated. And they're not overheated over the issues that really make a difference. So I just left a client who, unfortunately, their mother died, and they are so overheated about what they're going to do after this wrongful death. And I said, take a deep breath. The worst has happened. Your mother has died. Take a moment to just absorb that before you try to figure out ways to make money off it. Okay, and really, we do happen to have a community.
Well, and unfortunately,
that does
we
not
live in a
always put-
society that's very litigious, and
Right.
I have a lot of opinions on why, on the blue side of things, there's more of that mentality and environment than there is on the red side right now. Not only locally here in our community, but across America.
I feel like we're at a football game. You should say red, and I'll go blue, red, blue. Not because I'm on either side, but I think that making generalizations is never a good thing. There's
It's
definitely
not, but when the generalizations are based on facts, and there's things that are happening here in America that we can all put our finger on and say, there are people that are inciting, like you look at Maxine Waters right now and what she did today, just today.
Yeah, explain what she did today. to
Today
our
she
audience.
made some sort of a comment at this Family First rally about, and it might have been yesterday. I'm sorry, I'm a little off after I came back from New York, but about immigration. And, she's made comments before about going after conservatives and conservative opinion. I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
I don't
she's
go
inciting
after
violence.
Democrat opinion.
She's inciting violence.
She's inciting violence.
Just like you can't shout, fire in a crowded movie
And
theater.
it shouldn't be a divisive thing. We
No,
should
it's-
all
it's
be able to
pretty
embrace
apparent.
each other
right.
and our opinions and accept other people, especially women. That drives me nuts.
Yeah.
When I have a woman who comes to me and says, I disagree with you, I want to hear why they would disagree with me. I want to hear an intelligent argument from their side on why they don't feel the same way that I do. It's about respecting
But
other
you said
people.
a multisyllabic word there that's really, maybe most people don't understand that word. Intelligent. It means not causing, an argument because your parents always voted this way. It means not voting just because your neighbor says that
Correct.
they know that person and they're not a good person. It means that you're not voting because you can't, possibly have an opinion over whether or not this person was able to keep their personal items in their pants or not. It means how did they effectively make change
And that's
in
not
our
an
government.
issue. That's not an issue that I care at all about. What I care about are the things that Matt Spritz is running on, and I think they really are. Like honestly, when I read the list of
And
things,
look, he has For Israeli speakers, he has Hadeleg Haaretz, the Israeli flag, right there. He's letting you know very clearly how he votes and how his perspective is.
He stands with Israel. We all in this room, no matter what party you're on.
This is going to be a very good moment. I get to shush my wife for a second.
We're going.
There you go.
Oh, it's almost like when she has laryngitis.
We're going to commercial.
All right.
I am Evan Turk, the author of Asset Protection by Design. As a former Wall Street executive, I understand the problems with traditional estate planning that could cost you and your family a fortune. We work in collaboration with financial advisors, CPAs, and other professionals. Let us plan for your future while protecting your money today. Whether it's divorce, creditors, or just unnecessary litigation. Once you amass your fortune, no matter how big or small, there will be savvy people trying to profit from your hard work. We live in a litigious society, after all, a culture of entitlement pitted against hardworking families. Don't let your sacrifices be their victory. We're offering a free copy of my book, Asset Protection by Design. Simply log on to our Facebook page at Turk Law Group. We love email too. Our email address is info@palmbeachlawoffices.com. Also, look out for my next book being released this December 10th, titled Divorce Your Spouse, Not Your Assets. Remember, a failure to plan is merely a plan to fail. We look forward to protecting your hard-earned work.
You've been listening to Turk Radio, the tag team of radio. Don't forget to tag us on social media.
The seniors.
We are back. We are live.
Leading the show, my co-host.
I do have a voice. People haven't heard it.
You do. Listen, I'll let you take the whole second half. Have at it.
There you go. We're going to talk just to Matt.
Just to me, all right. I feel the hot light.
Yeah, we heard
I'm
girl
sweating.
talk. So now, what's your perspective? Go for it.
Sure. So, it's interesting. We said something in the last segment. We talked about the litigation climate. And that's a big issue on the state level. We talk about supporting our business community. And it's not just, it's cutting taxes. It's cutting regulations and improving the regulatory climate. But most people don't realize that the litigation climate in Florida is a hidden tax on almost everything that we do. The National Chamber, the National Chamber actually has us ranked almost dead last as far as, what states are the best states to do business in vis-a-vis the litigation climate. And so, whether it's the assignment of benefits issue in the property insurance industry. So I'll talk for a minute about this district and the boundaries. It's a coastal district. It's East Boca, it's East Del Rey, and then it sort of runs all the way up the coast to Palm Beach Island, Palm Beach Shores, and Singer Island. And so property insurance and property insurance rates are obviously a huge issue for homeowners on the coast.
That's for sure.
So one of the issues, and I've talked about this a lot, is the issue of assignment of benefits. So there's a provision in Florida law that if you contract with a contractor to do work on your home, you can assign the right to collect on that particular claim to the contractor, who would then file a claim with the property insurance company. The problem is, embedded in that statute is an attorney's fees hook that only runs one way.
Right.
And so it encourages thousands and thousands and thousands of lawsuits. So in other words, if the contractor files this claim with the insurance company, and the insurance company says, okay, contractor, I'm going to give you, $10,000 to settle the claim, and the contractor says, no deal. And then there's a litigation, and then in the litigation, the claim settles for, like $10,001.
Yeah.
The property insurance company not only has to pay that amount, but all of the attorney's fees of the contractor, which of course is an incentive to litigate. And so we've actually seen an explosion in the last 10 years. The number of lawsuits has jumped in this area from about 300 in 2006 to 28,000 in 2016.
Well, you talk about incentives to litigate. I mean, you're talking about too, you drive up and down I-95 and you see these ads for lawyers. Who can I sue? So-and-so got me $300,000. This was life-changing for me. Yeah. What are we doing in in our backyard here to stop that from happening?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of different things, right? So assignment of benefits is one area where the law is written in such a way as to encourage litigation. I mean, in healthcare, there's a number of different ways that the laws are written that incentivizes litigation and that passes on taxes to all. It's a hidden litigation tax for all of us. I could talk about the workers' comp statute, where the Florida Supreme Court overturned a portion of it 2 years ago, which dealt
Notice
with
I'm keeping quiet.
which dealt with
She's got a lot to say too. I can tell.
which dealt with attorneys' fees, and so now you have workers' comp awards that could be, let's say, $10,000 with a $50,000 attorney's fees bill, and that's involved.
Well, when you have an environment, what is it, 83,000 lawyers in the state of Florida, or some insane number? I'm not saying I'm not with the three most brilliant attorneys on the planet right now. I'm not
I know that these two don't, but I litigate. So,
No, and look, at the end of the day, it's what it
but
comes.
you're a reputable litigator.
Thank you.
You're a very reputable litigator. You do litigation for the right reasons, not litigation because you're an ambulance chaser or
litigation case, and I said no.
And again, what people don't seem to realize, but I think are starting to realize, is that the costs of all of this are baked into our economy and everything that we do, and it's passed on to us as business owners and as consumers.
Have you read my Facebook post? Did you read what happened to me last Monday?
I did.
What happened to you, Pam?
So I was in a parking lot to pick up my youngest son from his job at a private Boca preparatory camp, and this woman stopped her car behind mine in an empty parking lot, and I started backing up and I noticed that she was behind me, so I stopped. I pulled out in a different way. She gets out of her car and she has claimed now that I have hit her car.
But you never hit her car.
But I didn't hit her car, and my son was in the car, and my car, if you've seen it, looks like a little toy car. If a bumblebee lands, I feel it. So my sensors didn't go off.
Wow.
My son and I both said, well, I don't think we hit you. And I called up a friend of mine who said, get a ruler out and measure the damage. And sure enough, her damage doesn't measure with my car. And my car's red.
So she's trying to commit insurance fraud, I think.
Well, and so my car's red.
That's a whole other level.
So
that's a whole other problem.
But this is what I'm saying.
But it's an environment that we have. Society of entitlement.
So she hired an attorney who's 4 years out of law school, and she is now claiming that she has neck and back damage from this. And my insurance company has told me they're going to settle it out. And I said, no, this is fraud. You are failing me as an insurance company if you don't absolutely find out what, has she had other claims, what her medical history is. You need to do your research. Do not settle this out. And they're like, well, that's what you paid us. I'm like, no, I did not pay you to pay someone who's committing fraud.
Here's the problem. Is you can battle that battle, but what cost is it? And
I've already lost because my insurance is going to go up no matter what.
Well, right. So
so is yours, by the way.
And so
well, and it affects all of us. I mean, when you have an environment like this, it affects every single person that's sitting.
But I think I should pull a Karen Turk and let everybody know who this woman is.
Listen,
so that
I don't recommend any of that. What I do on my own and what I get sued for is my own personal business.
And my business.
Yes, and your business too. But since we're discussing frivolous litigation, that's right up my alley.
No, and
unfortunately,
and it's unfortunate that look, that is it's a big issue in state law and in state politics.
Well, but it's an environment of entitlement. I think we really in America have a mentality now amongst a lot of the population where
entitlement.
There's an entitlement issue.
But do you think though it's really because
did you just ask your wife what she thinks, because this is going to be good.
It was a very good question.
Was it okay? Give it to me.
No, do you think because of the way the economy is that people do not want to just work anymore and they think this is a way out?
Yes.
Or do you think there is any other reason for it?
You know what? I think there's other reasons. I think there's social factors. I think there's just an environment of people being unhappy for a variety of reasons that need to be addressed. And when people are not happy and they feel like somehow they're getting the short end of the stick, and maybe a lot of it's the media and kind of spreading this hype. So
but then you're driving down the road and you see, who can I sue?
Right.
And you have some people live in a...
It's all advertising. I mean, you look at the media. The media, I say this all the time online, and anybody who follows me knows that I will back it up, and I will say the media is an advertising-based business.
Yeah.
So
of course,
they're
it always
looking to
has
sell
been.
advertising. So what are they looking for when they're reporting the news? They are looking for something that's going to be salacious, that's going to get viewers, that's going to sell views and sell advertising.
So, Matt, do you have
it's the same thing as that billboard on 95.
I know. I stopped after she
his
said the
mom.
word salacious.
So you know his mom, so you can't answer that
There's
question.
there's nothing salacious.
There's nothing salacious. I wouldn't imagine there would be, Matt.
This is a great time for presents.
Yeah.
Is it a good time for presents?
It's always a good time for presents.
So
we got
this is
6
your
minutes
first-
left for presents.
I know.
It's all good.
So you need to have this on your set to make you happy.
Oh, look. And it kind of matches my face. It's red, and I'm going to be wearing red every week.
To support Matt Spritz, it's a hat with an American flag. Can you see that?
Does it say support Matt Spritz on it?
We have red, white, and blue.
Awesome.
Okay. Wait, this is for Karen.
Oh.
And then to make your lives a little sweeter, little USA
Look how
cups.
nicely
This
you
is
match
awesome.
my bag. Yeah,
I'm going to put the American... I'm going to try to put this on camera so you can...
I appreciate it. I'm so glad you came
Because you know
over
what, in
today.
a community where we're afraid to express our thoughts and say what we really think, Karen is a sole person that I know who will tell you exactly what she thinks at the moment she's thinking.
There's
And I
really
think-
very little
and I
filter
think-
these days.
We have
but
5 minutes. Do you want to
great.
do final thoughts?
Final thoughts?
Yeah.
Final thoughts. Wait, hold on. I can see what my shirt says
Yeah,
first.
go for it.
It's a pretty sweet looking shirt.
Yeah.
I like it. It's cute. I can tell that it's going to be sexy.
Yeah.
So of course, because it's Pam.
Yeah.
I can't adult today. I was feeling
I saw
very
this
much
and I
this
said-
way
Yes.
yesterday.
I said, I know who needs
Adulting?
this shirt.
I was not adulting. I didn't adult this whole weekend. We were all in New York for Molly's
Yes,
birthday.
I saw that.
I saw that
We
on
had a very
Facebook.
good time.
Yes.
It was very minimal adulting.
So ready?
Yeah.
Here's the final thoughts. Be grateful for not what you have, but for also what you don't have.
Matt,
and
what's
how
your final
how
thought?
can our viewers get in touch with you, Pam? Most importantly, since we haven't discussed that at all.
Really? Okay, so Pamela Polani, 561-496-4222. My email address is pamela@lawphp.com, as in Law Pamela Heiger Polani. And I'm always available to you through any type of social media or whatnot for free consultations. I love listening to you guys talk about something other than people and to talk about the marketplace of ideas.
I love that
Very
you do free
nice.
consultations, and not only does she do free consultations, she's actually, and I believe you're still making house calls.
I do. I do
So
it
it's
almost every
really
Sunday.
good. It's when we go out, I could call for a free consultation,
You know, I have to-
and then she could drive us
I
to
have to-
wherever we are.
I have to say something. Pam a while back gave a wonderful presentation about her estate planning practice to my Rotary Club.
I
So I'm gonna give
did.
my Rotary Club a shout out, the downtown Boca Raton Rotary Club.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
And I want to
Well, and the
interrupt
amount of work
because
that
it's
you-
hard to say
no,
something in
interrupt.
this
Go ahead.
conversation,
Go
so I'm going to
ahead.
interrupt.
An attorney who's having a
No,
hard
the
time
one thing I
talking.
want to say about Pam is that she does an amazing thing with charity. If you could talk about that, we have 2 minutes. You have 30
Well,
seconds,
Karen
maybe.
actually is a part of that in a big way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
a
created the
tremendous
Boca
amount.
Walk to End Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
which the 5th walk is coming up this year. Unbelievably, it's been 5 years, and it will be on October 28th in Meisner. It's free. There's no charge, and we give a free breakfast.
It's
Join
wonderful.
us. Just come out to be a part of a movement that is so necessary in our community. And the Brain Bowl, which is also another event I created.
No, the
for
Brain Bowl
She
Alzheimer's.
is
is
the
just-
founder of the Brain Bowl.
She's
and
the brain behind the
She's
brain
the
ball.
brain behind the
And
Brain
we'll be
Bowl.
raising money for Parkinson's this year, along with Alzheimer's Association, Alzheimer's
Two
Community
things that are
Care,
so closely
and
connected.
Memory Wellness Center
But I
at
went to
FAU.
this event and I was expecting just like a traditional event, and Matt was at my
no.
table. I
The
was
Brain Bowl?
very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
Oh,
I
yeah, I
left
forgot
to
we
lunch.
said
It was
that.
at
Yeah, we sat together. It was a Boca West.
Pam's
on
events
a
bring people
Thursday.
Yeah, it was
together.
Boca West.
And it was how many people there? It was 1,200? No,
942.
All right, so we got a
942.
minute left. I want to thank both of you for coming on today.
Don't forget to
wait.
vote for
Please
Matt.
Don't forget to vote for
wait,
Matt.
wait,
Don't
wait,
forget
wait.
to register for the primaries before midnight if you haven't done it
Online.
already.
Karen, real quick, I
Yep.
just want to say www.mattspritz.com is my website, and I encourage everyone to go online and check it out.
Gotcha. Vote for Matt.
I feel completely patriotic today.
Thank you for listening to Turk Radio, the no-nonsense tag team news source for keeping America great. We'll see you next week.